the volumes of 3D figures. And there's different kinds of 3D figures. So in this case, which one of these figures could be made by photocopying one of their faces and putting all those sheets on top of each other? So like if I have one sheet of paper and I make a whole bunch of sheets of papers, well, I make this kind of shape, right? Like this guy can be created by just like one face, like the bottom going up, or just get this face at the front and go a whole bunch of pages like that are going to be like sideways. Can I do the same thing with this triangular prism? Yes, I can make this triangle, copy it over and over and over, go all the way to the back and fill it up. I cannot do it by using this rectangle and making it go in this way, because the shape of that triangle gets smaller and smaller. Can I do the same thing? So yes, I can do it with this. Yes, I can do it with this. Can I do it with this cylinder? Yeah, I can get a circle at the bottom and then get layers, 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 and make it all to the top. So that also works that way. I cannot do it with this because this is circle after circle after circle, but the circles are getting smaller and smaller, so that doesn't work. Same thing with this, a square at the bottom or a rectangle at the bottom, but it keeps on changing, so that doesn't work. This one also, it's a circle, but it gets getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes up, so this does not work. Well, these three shapes are what we call prisms. Prisms are shapes that we can have one face repeated itself over and over and get that final shape. And that's good because it will give us a very easy formula. The volume of a prism is the area of the base, the face that repeats itself, times the height, because it lets us know how many layers are there to create that volume. So when we have something like let's do this one here, the area of a rectangular prism, I just need to get the area of one face and then multiply it. So in this case, the area of the face would be like, I don't know, length times width, and then multiply the height. So that'll be the volume for this. But I'm not going to memorize it, I'm just going to get one face. For the cylinder, the area that repeats itself is the circle. So what's the area of the circle? It's pi r squared, and then I'll multiply by h. What about for this triangular prism? Well, the area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2, and then I multiply it by the depth. In this case, the depth, they call it L. So you see, that's why I don't write to memorize the formula. I just kind of remember the idea of like get the whole area and then I multiply it by that distance. Okay, so careful with the letters that you use, but understand, just get the full shape of the face and then repeat it over how many times for that distance. The circle going all the way up, and here either one of the shapes would work, and you multiply by the other distance. So let's do a couple of examples, 3 examples. For the first one, I was lucky enough that they actually gave me the area of the triangle. So I know that the volume is the area of the base times the height. Well, in this case, the area is given. So it's just 9 times 8. So that's going to be 72 centimeters cubed, because that was the centimeters squared, and that's centimeters cubed. For the next one, I got a pentagon, and fortunately, they gave me the area. And the area for this is equal to 15. And I just need to multiply it by how many layers are there, so it's 9 centimeters of layers. So that's times 9. And 15 times 9 is equal to 135 on my calculator. And that's also in centimeters. So centimeters cubed, because that's going to give us volume. Good. And this one, well, they didn't give us the area of any of the sides, so I can do it in different ways. Area of the base times the height. I think I'm going to take this shape right here, which would have been 9. 3 times 3 is 9, because length times width is 9. And then I'll multiply it by 5, because that's how many layers I'll have. So that's 45 centimeters cubed. Notice that I could have done it also if I figure out, okay, I'm going to do this one first. I would have said, okay, this is 5 times 3. That gives me 5 times 3, which is the 15. And then I'm going to multiply it by this dimension, which is another 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 3 is also 45 cubic centimeters. So that would have been fine too. In class, we're going to do more shapes that we're going to have to like figure out that side first, and that would be like the challenge. But the idea is always you multiply the area of the base times the height, what we call the height, but it's just like How many layers of that shape do you put in? And that's your answer.